Hi there, Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who is Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Today I thought I'd just share with you a rebranding session with a resume that I received. Now, this lady, apparently I've changed her details, her name, her date of birth, everything else. So she has sent me her resume, and she wanted to apply for a retail outlet in the Middle East. Okay. And this is how her resume looked like. I've blurred her photograph so you cannot see how she looks. So now, when you have a resume like this, okay, this is a 2-page resume. When you have a resume like this, you look at it, you divide it into, okay, the first part. Okay, first part is, okay, I'm getting the name, the details of this person, the objectives. This is her objectives, which is not of much interest. Then you can see it quickly moves on to personal details. This is her personal details, whereby she stated she is of a particular religion, her nationality. In the Middle East, the nationality is very important. Date of birth, unless, of course, you are applying for a job that requires you to be young. She has stated her marital status. Unless you're applying for a job that requires you to be single, you don't need to mention this. She has stated her language skills. It is only important if they have specified which all languages that you should know. Passport number and expiry date. This, I don't know how far this is important. This is not necessary. In terms of editing, if you actually look at it, this is kind of bold and it's made bigger. This is small. This is all caps. Education, and then it moves to professional experience. So when you look at a resume like this, the first half is kind of haphazard with the information being everywhere. Now, how would I rebrand this? Okay, so this is a Google Doc. This one is a Google Doc. So when you apply for any job, the first most important is your name. So let's give this person a name. Let's say her name is Catherine, T-A-T-H, all right, Catherine Zeta Jones. Okay, Catherine Zeta Jones. The first most important thing in any resume is the name. So after the name comes the positions that you're applying for. So in her case, I can see the name, the date of birth and all this, the objectives. Okay, she wants to apply for an organization. I still am not clear which position is she applying for. She is applying for, okay, she has been a store manager. So most probably she is applying for retail, let's say retail's operations, maybe for retail. Maybe she is applying for, let's say, store, as a store manager, or maybe she's applying as a visual merchandiser. Okay, visual merchandiser. Okay, so retail professional. Now, this is my guess because she has not stated which are the areas that she wants to apply for. And following that, I would put her, she has given her cell number. A cell number, I would just put it as per international standards. I just put it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then I would give her email address, abcdef@gmail.com. Okay, so now this is what I put in the prime location. The name of the person, which are the segments that she's applying for, or what she's a professional at, so that I can brand her accordingly, and then her contact details. So this, I would put it on, you could say, in the header. Okay, this would be the header. And in order to make the header stand out, I would give the header a slight design. Let's say paragraph styles, borders and shading, background color. Let's say something bold, something really bold, because she is a lady. She's applying as a store manager, so she is more into products and services that have to stand out visually. So I'll give it a strong, let's say, dark red. Okay, and make it bold, and the font, in order for it to stand out, say white. Okay, so this is more of a personal preference. So this would be more like bold. You can even give it something like, let's say, for example, I don't like this. Paragraph styles, borders, and shading. I'd give it, say, something like background color. You can put it even as black. Okay, so you can see how it looks like. It really stands out. Okay, so after she has stated what she is positioning herself, what she's applying for, then it comes down to the most important bit, that is the profile summary. I would divide it that way, profile summary. After profile summary is core competencies, after core competencies, I would put it as an experience snapshot, experience, and then expertise. Okay, so these are the 4 major areas I would divide any resume. Okay, let's say I'll give this 18, so it looks nice, and you know, it visually it looks nice. Okay, so expertise. I'll explain each and every one of these. Now, profile summary is in a nutshell. Who is she? In a nutshell, there's only one work experience. She's only worked in one place. Okay, so since she has worked in one place, she has been a store manager with 10 years experience. Okay, in country. Okay, country. And she has worked for brands. She has worked for a global brand. Okay. Next is I put was responsible for 10 people under my team supervision, and had to achieve a target of let's say USD $10,000 per month. Okay, so this I would put it in terms of, let's say, bullet points. Now this is just what I'm assuming profile summary would be. Okay, I'll give this a little smaller. Core competencies for a store manager. For a store manager, obviously you need to have vendor management. Okay, core competencies would also be achieving monthly targets. Okay, then managing teams. Okay, then there is also trainings. Okay, so this is what would be expected out of a store manager. Now this is just me assuming that this person has all these skills. Okay, so core competencies would be bold. Then experience. The experience is, in a nutshell, I would put, okay, she has been working as a store manager for global brand. Okay, and then I've just put the date, January of 2010 to June of 2020. This is just a rough date. Okay, I'll make this small, say 14. Core competency, sorry, give this also 14. Okay, make this bold. And expertise would be all the skills that the person has in detail. So now when I look at the resume before was personal details, the date of birth, mobile and email address, then the objectives. So what I would do here is I put all these details, that is personal details, at the end. Personal details. Okay, personal details. Here you can put everything else that comes here. Okay, so date of birth, unless it is required. Cell number and email address, those are the contact details which I put right at the top. Career objective, this is her objective. The company is not interested in her objectives. The company is interested in their own objectives. In personal details, the religion is stated. The problem in the Middle East is certain companies are fascinated with the religion. Nationality, unless there is a quota for certain groups or people from certain countries. Date of birth, only if they're interested in, okay, how old you are. Marital status, that is only if you're working for jobs where They are interested to know if you're married or not, because in some cases they don't want you to have children. Languages, only if the job requires you to have more than knowledge of one language. Passport number and date of expiry is your personal information. You do not give this. Okay, so here she has stated her education. The education will come here. Education. So in education, she has stated she has finished a 12th standard. Nobody is interested. Then she has stated BCA. Now I do not know what is BCA, but I would assume that it's BACHE, Bachelor of Commerce. I'm just assuming this is Bachelor of Commerce. Remove the bold. From India. Okay, she has got it from India. She has to state the year. I'll give this a bullet point. And that's about it. Then personal, professional details. Okay, experiences. She is a store manager. Okay, this I put it here. So as of now, the resume, this is how it looked like, the first half. What I've done is I have put it down into this format here. So here it is, much more shorter, much more smaller, and it kind of gives you a snapshot of how the person, it starts off with the person's profile summary, core competencies, the experience, expertise I still have to put in, education, and personal details. So this is how I would create a resume, whereby the prime, most important information, which is right in the beginning, would be stated first, followed by the profile summary, followed by whatever the company is interested. And in the end, I would give page, this is insert page number, yeah, just put a page number so you know which page you're on. Page 1 of, let's see, I can get it here. Page X of Y, enter. Okay, so this is how I would do it here, so you know which page you're on. Okay, and a little bit of editing here, give 12. Okay, so this is how I would make the resume, kind of much more shorter than how it is here. Visually this is more better. Okay, I would just give it a little bit of redesign. Let's say 18, so it looks much more better. 18. These are just the visual aspects for making a resume look better. Okay, I wouldn't take this so seriously, because this is just the visual aspect, and I'll focus more on the content. So this is how I do it. It's much more easier to read a resume like this than to read a resume this way. Everything is highlighted, and you can even have highlights like this, like for example, paragraph style, borders and shading. Let's say give it a slight gray, apply. Okay, format, paragraph styles, borders and shading, background color, slight gray, and give this one, apply. You can, instead of repeating this one, let's see, this shortcut. Okay, there's no shortcut here. Format, borders and shading, background color, here, apply. Format. Okay, apply. So you can see that this resume is getting a little bit of a shape, a form, a look. It's getting a little bit of an identity, and it's much better than what it was. So this is how I'd actually create a resume. And yeah, it just depends if you want to make this a little smaller, 14. 14. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing this live, so you can actually see the aspects that go into making a resume, which should highlight itself, which should stand out, and which should look at least visually appealing. So this is how I would do it. Let me know your thoughts. if you find this to be much better than what you saw here. And finally, I would be focusing on putting more of the content to make sure that the content stands out. So Lloyd from Machedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding, sharing with you his his style of creating and crafting a resume. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, give me a thumbs down. This is me signing off for now. Take care.